Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Jay's Flix podcast. I'm your host Jay, and today we're going to be talking about the CW series The Flash. I already did a video on The Flash before I actually did two. The first one was, just kind of like saying that it was the best DC show ever made, and then the other one was a video about Iris West. But in this video in particular, I want to talk about the news releasing today that Grant Gustin, who played Barry Allen / The Flash, would not be opposed to doing a sequel show. So I want to talk about that, give my ideas and perspective on that, being a Flash fan, and where they could possibly go if, they get a green light to make another sequel series to the show, the original show that aired on the CW network, for 9 seasons. So, but before we do that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button right here on the Jay's Flix channel. Help us continue to grow. We're going to have a lot more content coming out for you guys in the next couple of weeks. So, just be on the lookout for that. Got Captain America Breaking the World coming out on Friday. So, I might be making a video on that. I'm not exactly sure at this moment, but just stay tuned anyway. And, I will, we'll further get into that. But for the moment right now, like I said, so if you guys have not seen The Flash, and I always, every time I meet new people or even just friends, my own friends anyway, I tell them if you have not watched this show, you need to watch it. Even if you're not into the superhero type of stuff, it's just a fun, good show, at least for the first 4 or 5 seasons it is. And it's got a good cast for the most part, of course, like I said, led by Grant Gustin, who did a phenomenal job playing Barry Allen in The Flash, and Candace Patton as well, playing Iris West, Tom Cavanaugh, who played Dr. Harrison Wells, so, and of course, Carlos Valdez, who I thought did an exceptional job playing Cisco Ramon, who I'll explain his character in a little bit. But anyway, awesome show. And if you guys have not watched it, please do. It's streaming on Netflix right now. I don't know when they're going to take it down. Hopefully they won't. So make sure you guys go watch it and check it out, if you haven't already. But basically what the show is about. So, there is this kid named Barry Allen. He's a CSI agent named Barry Allen. He works for the police department in Central City. And basically, he gets struck by lightning and he becomes the Flash. But it was all orchestrated by Dr. Harrison Wells, who was actually the Reverse Flash in disguise. And he did this on purpose to create the Flash so he could get back to the future, which is where he was from, because he traveled back in the past to kill Barry as a child to prevent him from becoming the Flash in the future. Unfortunately, that plan didn't work, so he ended up killing Barry's mother instead. And then he gets stuck in the past. And so now he has to figure out how to get back home. And the only way to do that is to create Star Labs and create the particle accelerator explosion that gives Barry his powers, his speed, so that way Eobard Thawne, can get back home to his time. So he does that for the first season. So he creates a particle accelerator. It explodes. It gives Barry his speed. And Barry and Cisco and Caitlin Snow and Dr. Wells, at Star Labs, they train together, get Barry help Barry improve his speed. And he gets to, fight metahumans, blah, blah, blah. Eventually they find out that, that Thawne is Wells and that he'd been faking it, being the paralyzed doctor. And they really realize that he is the Reverse Flash in disguise. They defeat him, blah, blah, blah. And then the rest of the show, each season, Barry is fighting a new villain as he continues to grow in his role as being the superhero, the Flash. And throughout that time, he also builds, relationships with the people around him in his life. It continues to develop, of course, with Cisco and Caitlin at Star Labs, who become like family to him over the course of the show. And then his actual family, Barry's mom, like I said, died when he was a child. So he went to go live with Joe West and his daughter, Iris West. And then he grew up with Iris and he eventually developed a crush on her. And eventually they got together, got married after she was dating this guy named Eddie, who ended up killing himself to save Team Flash from Thawne, because Thawne was a descendant of Eddie from the future, blah, blah, blah. So the point being with that, I just wanted to say, it's the show for the most part does a great job progression wise of building Barry up as a speedster hero up until maybe the 6th season, season 6 are actually pretty good. But then from their point, it just got really bad. They changed writers in the production room. You can tell it just got really stagnant. Storytelling just lost its grip, its pizzazz. So all that being said, I just want to kind of recap up to the point that we're at right now. Like I said, the original Flash series ran for 9 seasons on the CW network, and then it ended. And the way it ended, Barry, on his last run around the city, he threw a lightning bolt up in the air, and it chose like new people to be speedsters or whatever. Iris, gave birth to their child, and so I mean, if they do a sequel series, I'm interested to see where what the story would be. I mean, obviously you're bringing back Barry, you're bringing back the Flash, but in what capacity? Or is it going to be more so focused on other members of Team Flash, or is it good? Because I don't know how you would make a sequel series. I don't know how you would make a sequel series about the Flash without kind of just rehashing what you did in the original show, which is like, hey, have him fight a villain for each season, and then like go through some emotional, situation, whatever. Like, I do think they should try to mix it up a little bit, but again, it's just like an idea that's floating around. It's not been confirmed. It's just something that Grant Gustin said he would do if given the opportunity to come back and play the Flash in a sequel show. He said he would do it. Honestly, I think they should have picked him to be in the movie instead of Ezra Miller, but hey, it's what it is. And that's just how that went. But I definitely do think that they should do this. Like, if they make a Flash sequel show, I think it would do really well. I mean, obviously, you have to bring back Grant Gustin. You bring back Candace Patton, the original cast, some of the original cast, even Tom Cavanaugh, in some form or capacity, because he was amazing as the Reverse Flash, and then playing all the different versions of Harrison Wells. So I just really love how that whole series was orchestrated, and I only stumbled upon it just in 2023 in the summer. So I mean, it's not like I didn't watch this show when it was airing on live TV. I didn't watch it, so I watched it on Netflix a couple of summers ago. And then I'm like, man, this is really good. So all that being said, I would love for them to do a sequel show to the Flash. Like, I'm all for it. Like, give us more. It would be awesome to see the OG cast back in action, or at least some of them. And I'll be very interested to see where they would take the story going on from here. From that point. I mean, you just don't know at this stage of time right now. Like I said, it's just an idea floating around. We're not sure. As long as they don't bring Eric Wallace back into the writing room, then that'll be good, because he is one of the sole reasons why the Flash sucked in the last 2 or 3 seasons, give or take 2, because he just completely changed a bunch of stuff around and did stuff that made absolutely no sense, storyboard wise, writing wise, and that led to some of the negative reviews that the Flash got over the last couple of seasons. But overall, I mean, if they bring the right people into the writer's room, and then they take their time and get the story right, I believe that this could be a good idea. And hey, it would make every Flash fan on Earth happy, myself included. So that's all I wanted to really talk about today as far as that's concerned. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button right here on Jay's Flix. Follow us here on Instagram, and we're on TikTok as well, Jay's Flix 23. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time.